this case needs to be settled. This makes no sense to me based on my facts in front of me, why we would be having a trial, especially in light of the latest arrest. I think what I'll do is I'll get started just because of our limited time, and then hopefully Mr. Davies will be joining us. So we'll go ahead and go on the record. This is the case of versus. We're having a status hearing that I set last time we met, and checking on the signing of the HIPAA release forms from Mr. Let the record reflect we are having this hearing remotely. We're all appearing by video. We can see and hear each other. I'm in Washoe County, the site of today's hearing. And if I can have your appearance, Ms. Whitbeck, go ahead.
Jill Whitbeck through Washoe Legal Services on behalf of the petitioner who is here with me. We are located in Washoe County at the Washoe Legal Services office and have no objection to proceeding through Zoom audio visual application for which we did receive notice.
Thank you so much. And then as far as other notice, as we've already discussed, this case is being covered by our Nevada judges as is allowed, and the parties did receive appropriate notice. And our Nevada judges will continue to follow the rules of not naming the parties or the children. All right, so I'm just going to check in with my clerk about if she's been able to reach Mr. Davies. She might be on the phone at the moment. Okay, I just got a message that he has joined the wrong Zoom. Was the correct Zoom in the order, Ms. Whitbeck?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, I assume that my clerk is on the phone with his staff, giving him the correct code. He joined the Zoom code from our last check-in back in August. So we'll just give him a moment. All right, Mr. Davies has been provided the Zoom code for today's hearing again. So he should be joining us shortly. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening. Let me go ahead and swear in Ms. If you can raise your right hand, Ms. Allen, and unmute.
Sorry, mine wouldn't unmute either. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you. Okay, so Ms. Whitbeck, I'm just going to start. I mean, I hate having to repeat myself, but we're just going to start. So I did receive and review the Family Peace Center report that there's been no contact at all. So I can hear an update from you on that. And then, of course, did you receive the HIPAA releases signed for each provider after our hearing last?
I received 3 releases. They were sent out. I received them that very same day following court. I sent them out the very next day. I have only received a response from 1 provider. However, that was the rehab center in Orangevale, California. So there were some enlightening records received. I did then, upon a review of those records and various others, there were 2 additional providers that I needed releases for, and those were provided to my office last week. However, the court should be aware that Mr. was arrested again last week and spent 2 days in jail, September 7th to September 9th, based on a violation of the terms of the Department of Alternative Sentencing and their requirements. He was released on the 9th. He had court again today and is now on daily testing with a court date September 20th. And that is only on the criminal charge for which he has already placed a plea and been adjudicated, the coercion and possession charges stemming from his arrest in May of 2020. There are other matters pending.
Yes, I do recall that.
In regard to the supervisor that was proposed, I did telephone that gentleman. He has only known Mr. Bruno for a couple of months. He seems to have his own history in terms of both custody matters as well as possible addictions. The group that they met through is kind of a recovery process type church group. And while he does seem like a nice enough guy, he does not have custody of his own 5-year-old child. That child is located in another state. It's unclear how much parental time he actually has. And at this point in time, we'd like to hold him in reserve as a possible future supervisor, but we need the respondent to get the Zoom thing going so we can assess his ability to communicate in an appropriate manner with this child, and also to evaluate how the child reacts through the child's counselor.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I very much appreciate your due diligence with this proposed supervisor. That's really helpful to the court. I agree with your assessment that would not be something I would jump to at this juncture. That, of course, I think we'd all been thinking that the Peace Center Zoom visits would have started, so we would have some information. And that is still what I'm looking for. And just to keep everyone apprised, my clerk is calling Mr. Davies' office back, although at this point we're almost finished, but just letting you know. All right. Well, good news certainly on the releases. I know our trial is set November 22nd, and we have a settlement conference October 12th. So that's about a month away. My hope is that since you did receive some records from the first one, you'll get the other two and then the subsequent ones in advance of the settlement conference. What I may end up repeating if Mr. Davies joins is that this case needs to be settled. This makes no sense to me based on my facts in front of me, why we would be having a trial, especially in light of the latest arrest. But here's Mr. Davies, so I will be repeating all that. Hello, Mr. Davies. And
hello, I apologize, John. I was using the wrong Zoom link. I apologize.
That's all right. You're here. I'm going to do a lot of summing up of what we've already done, but can you state your appearance for the record?
Yes. Good afternoon, Richard Davies on behalf of Mr. who's in my office.
All right. Thank you, Mr. I can see half your face. There you are. All right. And Mr. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please?
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Thank you. So I asked Ms. Whitbeck to go ahead and proceed with updates. As everyone's aware, there was a report filed by the Family Peace Center that Mr. had not made any calls yet to set that up. And Ms. Whitbeck let me know that she did receive 3 filled out releases and sent those off. She did receive back information from the rehab center, and I'm sorry, I just forgot the name, Ms. Whitbeck, and that was the one in
Located in Orangevale.
Thank you. That's what I remembered, but it didn't sound quite right. And then based on those records, she did ask for and receive 2 other releases. So Ms. is in compliance at this point with the releases, the 3 and then the subsequent 2. And I just encourage further cooperation, as that will certainly help move things forward. Ms. Whitbeck also updated me in her conversations with the proposed supervisor that we discussed last time, and that was that she did speak with him. They are proposing we hold him in reserve for a possible future supervisor after the video visits have started and the child and the father can reacquaint. There were concerns brought to my attention that Mr. Himself does not have custody of his own child and has only known Mr. for a couple months. That's not to say anyone's ruling him out, and I appreciated Ms. Whitbeck's due diligence, but we'll hold his name there. And I commented to Ms. Whitbeck that I had really hoped the Peace Center visits would have started, as they just do really nice write-ups about how the visits go, and then I get a good sense of that relationship. And then finally, Ms. Whitbeck let me know that Mr. was arrested on the 7th, or was incarcerated on the 7th to the 9th. and now had court again today and has daily testing requirements and next court date September 20th. So that's what you missed, Mr. Davies. Can you give me further updates?
My understanding, Mr. Has talked today at the Family Peace Center people.
Yeah, I've completed the orientation today, yes.
Completed the orientation today. So
Wonderful.
I was more waiting, I'm sorry to interrupt, I was more waiting because I thought we were gonna use, so I didn't hear anything. And then when I got the email on the 7th, I immediately, as soon as I could, called the Peace Center. I didn't know I was supposed to call them either way. I apologize.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and thank you for completing the orientation. At this point, given the amount of time it's been, I want to start us with those Zoom visits as soon as possible. And then we'll have some reports, I'm hoping, prior to our settlement conference. And so that will help us, move forward or further assess. Go ahead, Mr. Davies. Any other updates?
Not really. I feel like I got Miss Whitbeck those releases as soon as possible. Everything she's asked for. Going through what you just broke down for us, the 4 issues. There was that test that he did, was surrendered himself on the 7th. It was released on the 9th. Had court this morning or this afternoon with Ms. Rosenthal. I talked to her last week a little bit about that. So he did that time. That there was one test that was in dispute that came back for coding. My clients, I don't think I'm giving out anything up. I think at the time, so you don't know anything about it, doesn't know where it came from, but it is what it is, and now it's in the rearview mirror, and he's going forward. So I don't think I have anything else to offer other than that. I think we're on track, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what I had just been saying when you popped on the Zoom is that we have a settlement October 12th. And, I would really encourage folks to think about figuring out a solution that would be a good settlement, which would be a way to have contact that's safe and healthy and positive for Mr. and the child. And then I'm imagining something as, as things go on, as things are resolved in the criminal court, things can progress, maybe some steps up. But at this point, I will be quite frank, we're going to gather information. Ms. Whitbeck said she'll produce it. Obviously, if she wants me to look at it, you'll get it, and we'll see what we see. But, we've had so many stops and starts, and Mr. being gone for a while, then back, that quite frankly, I just don't see the benefit of proceeding to trial. I feel like we could really work out a good settlement that would help everyone. And that's just my encouraging words, and exchanging any documents with each other. Mr. Davies, go ahead.
I agree with you, Judge. This is a case that seems to me seems a scream of step ups and rewarding positive behavior. And so I got a feeling we're going to keep a finger on the pulse of this case for a while as it goes. I'm optimistic we'll figure something out at the settlement conference. But obviously, and Mr. is becoming, I think, in all honesty, to the court, I agree. Mr. may have been reluctant to be compliant and was kind of, not putting his best foot forward. But I think he's really at a baseline now. He's clean. He's being tested regularly. He's reduced to what he is without any outside stimulus or interference. And I do see a change in his demeanor and his behavior, and I see a spirit of cooperation coming along, where he understands that, arguing with the government is just like hitting your head against the wall, and so I think he's tired of hitting his head against the wall. He wants to, get things on the right track.
Well, and certainly my goal, and I think everyone's here, is to have a positive, good relationship between Nick and his dad. And that's going to take some baby steps at this point. So I'm glad that you did the orientation, Mr. So we can get that going. I've heard rumors of a wait list, so I just encourage flexibility about the Zoom time.
I'm free whenever. I mean, I can make time for him no matter what. It's fine.
Thank you. And then, so it sounds like then you'll be receiving a call, and you're welcome to call yourself to Kendra and just get yourselves going on a schedule, and they'll explain all the procedures. That way, what I'd love is for our October 12th date to have a Peace Center report that we can all look at and think about next steps. In addition, very helpful to me would be if there are documents, Ms. Whitbeck, that you think you might use at trial, you might considering exchanging those so they can be part of our settlement discussions. Just because I think sometimes seeing things in writing is helpful to everybody.
I'm exchanging as they come through, Your Honor.
Perfect. I should have guessed that, but
She has.
okay.
She's very thorough.
Okay, lots to read. Okay. Anything else we need to deal with today? Otherwise, I'll expect us to be ready for a settlement conference. I'm not sure if I put in the deadline yet for statements, but let me bring up my calendar. Anything from you, Ms. Whitbeck?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Davies, anything else we need to deal with?
Nothing on my end, Your Honor. Thank you.
We're at 9 to noon on Tuesday, the 12th. I'm willing to give you all till Friday, the 8th to file your statements. Just because I know that we're really talking about 3.5 weeks. But please no later than that, else I'll be reviewing those obviously on the weekend, and I don't want to be doing it Sunday night. So if you get everything in by Friday, I'll review, and then we'll meet by Zoom and for the settlement, and I can talk to you all separately or together. Today, as you remember from my order regarding Ms. Whitbeck's unopposed motion for order to show cause regarding contempt, I said that if Mr. had not complied, he would be held in contempt. He has complied with the signing of the releases, so that is moving forward. But what I'm still holding in reserve is Ms. Whitbeck's attorney's fees for Washoe Legal for the time it took on those motions, and also the correspondence on the releases. As I said, I feel like my order was quite clear, and it was not followed. So Ms. Whitbeck, feel free to do a little summary of the time you spent on that issue in your settlement conference statement, so that can be part of our discussions. Okay. All right. Anything else from anyone?
Nope. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all very much. Ms. Whitbeck, did you think of something?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I'll look forward to reading your statements. I hope the visits get started soon so we can have that as well. And I'll think good thoughts about getting a good resolution. Good to see you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. We appreciate that. Have a good week.
Thank you.